So we'll begin this class. In the last class, we were going through the data models, and today we will see about the object models and all other aspects what we were supposed to cover in this. So please look into that. Okay, in the last class, okay, and also in DBMS, you are going through all these things, and surely there will be a question on this also in this course, right? And I told you yesterday that the min-max constraint, whatever that you write it here at the bottom, that sounds good notation to represent. And every notation has its own predefined meaning. You people have to go through, understand what those things are as a part of this data model. Entity, weak entity, relationship, identifying relationship, attribute, okay, key attribute, multi-valued attribute, okay, composite attribute, then derived attribute, right, total participation, right, then cardinality ratio, one to many, many to many, right, etc. And best thing is structural constraint, you put it, right, where min-max, okay, you okay specify that minimum how many this entity participate in relation are, and maximum how many you participate here. So this, how do you implement all these things? They're all equally important. Okay, those things, okay, it will be dealt with in DBMS course, right? So hope you all people are going through all these things. And one of the beautiful best example given in a Navte book, right, is this: how can you read all these things, right, and how do you implement all these things? That is the aspect which you need to look into. But as far as the software engineering is concerned, right, when the perspective at which I'm looking at the system is that one, what all the data elements are there, entity we call, then how it is related with other things, right, and what are the different attributes, and how do these things operate with each other. That is the perspective with which, okay, we look into this, right? So any questions at this stage? Otherwise we will move to the next one. Okay, object models, right? Any question at this stage? Okay, in depth we are not covering here. We are saying that one, this is an aspect of right, data models, right? So details will be covered in your DBMS course. For example, dependence of, okay, this is called identifying relationship, right? How do you implement it? What is the meaning of that? Okay, that you need to look into, right? See, one thing I would like to explain to you, please, okay, look into that here, right? The min-max constraint. Now, dependent of, this is also being visualized as a relation. Relation is nothing but a table. Entity is a table, right? Relationship is how do two different entities they relate with each other in a way, one to one, one to many to many, kind of these things. And that's what you will see here. Now look at the constraint here, the employee and the dependent. In between, you have dependence of. This is the relation table, right? So when you look at the employee, right, okay, there may be an employee without having any dependence on that. So that's why the participation of an employee in the dependence of relation is zero. Minimum is zero, maximum is n. The meaning is that every employee need not have a dependence, got it, registered in the organization. So in that case, zero, okay, tuple participation and okay, entity participation in this relationship. There may be an employee who may not participate in this, and it may so happen that when all employees may participate in dependence. That's what is a structural constraint. Sounds better. Please read Navte book. Navte book also says that one min-max constraint is a more accurate way of expressing a relationship between the two different entities, right? Now, when you look at this dependent, right? Okay, it is a 1 to 1, I mean 1 comma 1, not 1 to 1, sorry. It is a 1 comma 1 structural constraint. That means that every instance of this entity, right, every tuple of this relation, okay, will participate, must participate in, okay, dependence of relation once. Minimum 1, maximum 1. It cannot appear more than 1. That's what is the structural constraint of this. This, right? Then why do it is called as a weak entity, right? Say for example, I will speak about the attributes of this. Say name is Ramesh, male, birth date, whatever that is, Ramesh. My father name is Ramesh, assume, right? Ashish, your father name is also Ramesh, and all many of you Assume that your parent's name is Ramesh. In that case, how do you distinguish one from the other? They do not have their own any specific attribute in this with which you can uniquely identify that parent. You cannot, right? There are a number of Ramesh, right? And we cannot give them an employee ID kind of things in our organization, right? How do you do it? How do you represent it, right? So that is the interesting thing. How this entity relationship diagram is converted into schema. Okay, please interact with your DBMS course teacher and ask them to conduct a session. How do this is being represented? Okay, in the form of the tables. All that's a very important thing, right? Now here 1, 1 structural constraint. Now this is identifying relationship. This is being used to identify this dependent. But how do we represent this in a table? Hope you understood 0, n, 1, 1. That's what I wanted to tell. Little bit of that, not in depth, right? So get into your course teacher and of DBMS and look into that. But there will be a question on this in data models, right? Object-oriented model, data models, right? And UML models. Within UML model, behavioral model we have seen, sequence diagram we have seen, use case model we have seen it. All these models, Ashish, you need to update. Okay, in class question bank also. Got it? Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you can say is that, okay, consider the following story. Okay, you can note down that. Consider the following story. Prepare following. One, right, class diagram. Note down all of you. Okay, consider the following story. That story will come pages or paragraphs, right? Then prepare the following. A part, use case model. Second one, right? Sequence diagram for a particular scenario of a use case. Are you noting, all of you? Ashish, Arpita?
Oh, what is the second one?
Sequence diagram for the given scenario of the use case.
Okay.
Third one, right? Decision table. Fourth one within that, right? ER model. Fifth one within that, data flow model. Sixth one within that, class diagram, which we'll see. Is that clear? All of you? Arpita, Ashish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, please look into that. All this will appear
Yes.
for 10 marks. All this will appear for 10 marks. Scenario is different. Surely they are going to appear. Maybe in the internal exam, okay, we may skip something because I cannot ask all the things. No, because each one minimum is 5 marks, maximum is 10, 12 marks. Right? Surely they are going to appear semester end exam. Don't miss this. Got it? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, how do you read employee works for a department with a structural constraint 1, 1, 4, n? How do you read it? How do you read employee managers department? Right? Look at that. Okay, some of the employee may not participate because some of the only one will be the manager, not all, not necessarily all. Right? And 0 is a minimum. Okay, this one, and 1 is a maximum with a particular department. Right? So have you started visualizing the ER diagram in the form of the tables in DBMS? Hello? Manoj? Arpita? Hello?
So, what was your question?
Have you started visualizing this ER model in the form of the schema or the tables?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
sir.
yes, sir.
Started.
Yeah, that's how you have to look into. Then, how does this 1, 1, looks? How does this 4 comma 1 n looks? How does this 0 comma n looks? Right? So you take one exercise. I mean, in class question bank. Ashish, take a screenshot of this.
Yeah, yes, no, just a minute.
Take a screenshot.
Yes, done.
Yeah, right. You put it. Now, there is the next question. Right? Consider the following ER model. Right? Got it? This diagram will appear. Then prepare schema. Prepare schema in appropriate normal form. Prepare schema in appropriate normal form. Got it? So such a question may appear. This question is overlapping with the DBMS. Please remember. Because in data model, we have to speak about ER model. And in software engineering, we cannot study theoretical. I'm forced to give something and ask you to prepare data model. In the data model, it could be data flow diagrams. That is also data model. In one way you can argue, right? ER model is definitely data model, right? And to check that understanding of this ER model properly or not, I will ask you prepare schema. When you prepare a schema, then only you understand this 1 comma 1. Please remember, all of you, you must be in the position to, right? Prepare and give example for all these things. Schema, all these things, look at that. What exactly they mean, right? And just out of curiosity of your, whether learning is all right or not, this dotted, okay, oval you are seeing here, no? Okay, it is called, what is it called? Derived attributes, right? Right, what's the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Ashish, Arpita, floor is open for all. Anybody can unmute and answer to me, but coordinated by these two people. What's the meaning of this? It is a derived attribute. My question is, will it appear in the table? Will it appear in the table? Ashish?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right. Okay, that's what. It is computed. It is computed. Right? That's okay. All right. Now, my question to you is that consider, okay, this particular part of the ER table, ER diagram, right? This particular part. Right? I'll ask you for this, prepare schema for this. How does it looks? And I wanted to see 0 comma n, 1 comma 1, how do it looks? Right? Please work on this, and there will be a sure question on such things in software engineering also. Right? So this is what we touched upon yesterday as a part of the summary and told you that is a part of the DBMS. Now shall we move to object-oriented model? Shall we move to object-oriented model with your permission? What is meaning of permission here? Give a clarity, give a clearance that you understood it, so that I can get into next one.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good response. Now let's look into object orientation. We have seen before in a special session arranged from the department side. There we spoke about a lot of things. We spoke about different key concepts. Am I right? We spoke about the abstraction, we spoke about the encapsulation, polymorphism, dynamic binding, genericity, abstract data type, classes, object, instances, inheritance, message, okay, methods, so many things we spoke about that, right? Ashish, I think you remained absent for that. Am I right?
Yes, sir, I suppose. Yeah.
Arpita, did we cover that one? Arpita?
I do not remember exactly, sir, but a part of it I remember. I guess we have completed this.
Okay, for you, a session on object-oriented programming, that course, right, was done it by what I can say, who, right? Rangnath and Rashmi. For that first class, I gave introductory note on that. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
You had given.
Yeah, thank you. In that things have been covered. If not, you remind me separate on Sunday, we will have a session in length because this is most important from the placement perspective, right? And there we said, what are the advantages of object orientation? Please remember, the advantages of an object oriented paradigm, there are 4 important things. I wanted you refer only this, no other textbook, no other explanation, right? One of the advantage of, there are 4 which I have identified. One is reusability. This reusability is because of the inheritance and composite object. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please look into that. In your software engineering, there is a syllabus. When you look at that, your object models. When we go for the object models, right, what is that we do is we go for the class diagrams. Right? We go for the class diagram. Okay, class diagram, when you draw the class diagram, you should know fundamental aspect of this. Right? Then it increases the productivity because abstraction reduces the complexity. This abstraction is translated into class diagram. A classes gets converted into instances. Am I right? I told you, okay, abstract class is a representation of ADT and instance or the object are implementation of ADT. Am I right? Am I right? Those who have attended that session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. And this object orientation helps you in ease of maintenance of the design because of the low coupling among the objects and better design understandability because of the low coupling among the objects. Ease of maintenance and better design understandability, increased productivity and reusability. These are the benefits of object-oriented model, right? So you can note down, Ashish, right? List and explain with example the benefit of object-oriented data models or object-oriented paradigm. Right? This we are pulling it from 4th semester object-oriented programming course. Software engineering is getting connected with all things, DBMS, software. Then you take object-oriented programming, you take right network, you take operating system, you take anything, we get connected. We get connected, right? Because this is the religion of every software engineer. Shall we move further? Shall we move further? Wherever you wanted, you can take a screenshot, right? Anybody, wherever, whoever wanted that, right? Shall we move further? I want,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's good. Or you can, you don't hesitate to ask me to repeat 100 times, sir. I love to talk with the people. I don't mind.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, please. And you can ask me also, Sunday, we wanted extra class, come and take this class. This is the language with me, not with other faculty, right? I will come, Ashish. Anytime,
Yeah,
any
yes.
topic. Anytime, any topic, right? That's. But please look into that. You have to explain this with example. That's what is the interesting thing. No theoretical stuff. Okay, we will see. Okay, what next? This part right now I will not touch upon because it is the extension. You have to arrange extra session for that to know about this, right? But I'll come back to that. DFD we have gone through, but we will go through your examples given in your textbook. That of, ER model we have seen it. Yeah, now we will get into, right, UML model or object-oriented models. I told you in the last class what all we have covered. What all we have covered, what we are going to do, right? Please look into that. We have gone through one of the important thing here is a state diagram we have gone through. We have gone through one of the important things about a sequence diagram. Am I right? right? Am I right? And we have gone through the use cases, right? All these things models are okay. They are called UML models or object oriented models. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now we would like to touch upon not all, right? See this class diagram. Let's look into that. This class diagram. See, I have written here one important thing here. See here, right? The whole system, the target system, what I call, this can be perceived. This can be seen with a different spec. Each one of this diagram here, whatever I given, they are all different spec. But when you wear this spec, okay, you have a different look. You look something different. I told you, right, probably in Adhyatma or the philosophy, people say that one, right? At least I've been given a training when I was doing my post-graduation in Coimbatore. We have been taken to ashrama. Right there, we met Swamiji, and literally this was an exercise. He has shown one rose in the hand, right? Look at this. Okay, you try to describe, you all people. Some people described it. You all people know about that. Rose is beautiful. Is one aspect of that, right? Now, what is that people look into? When they look into that is a perspective. They're all positive, right? They always look into what is a good, what is the good part of whatever you are saying. Right, whatever the bad part of whatever you are saying is, some people described, you know about this, it is a common everywhere, it is on the internet as also available, but in fact it was an exercise, big exercise, whole day we have spent it, right? And some people said, in spite of thorns, rose is beautiful. It is not totally a positive perspective. Got it? So perspectives at which you look into the system is very important. So use case is a one perspective at which you look at the target system, where you look into functionality provided by the system. Then state diagram, I told you, it is a behavior of the system for the stimulus, whatever you get, internal or external. Right? How do system behave? The one which we have sequence diagram, every use case diagram, say please look into that, can be seen as a collection of scenario. For every scenario, you would like to see the different objects that participate and how do they interact with each other. This is the purpose of the sequence diagram. Sequence diagram, you wanted to know what all objects participate and how do they interact with each other. They are the perspective with which you look at the target system. So another perspective is a class diagram, right? That speaks about what makes target system. What all the objects that constitute target system. When you look at a Jeera rice, what are the ingredients out of the Jeera rice? It is a rice, it is a ghee, it is a Jeera, it is something vegetables, whatever you want to put, if at all you want to put. They're all ingredients that makes the target system. So now, the target system is being visualized in terms of the classes which you have already created, you know that, and their collaborations, their behavior, their attribute, their property, all that makes a class diagram. Are you clear? That's what we are going to see now hereafter. Class diagram. What is the purpose of the class diagram? The purpose of the class diagram is to know, right? To know the whole system that is made up of different classes, their connectivities, right? Their every class properties and their collaborations. This is the core part which you are going to implement as a developer later. Are you getting it? So in a project also, we wanted to see all these diagrams. Without a diagram, your project is not acceptable. Any question now? What we are going to study now? A class diagram. Your class diagram looks like this. One of the class diagram. And please remember, you will be given a stories and you will be asked to construct a class diagram where you use inheritance, you use composite object, you use aggregation, all the things you use and build class diagram. Are you clear? Are you clear? Ashish.
Yeah.
So till now I said what we are going to learn. I didn't tell you, learning part of that. What we are going to learn, I said it to you. Right? Now look into that. right? So there are some few examples they give it, right? We will take a small thing. The simple thing we will take it so that learning will be better. We will go to the complex things also. But we will not get into full length because you will have one total course on this in the next semester. Got it? It is the introductory level. So this simple example, but don't expect that same example you get in the exam. Sorry, no. So now look at that. This composite object, studied about the composite object? Heard about the composite object? Heard about the composite object?
No, sir.
Okay.
I,
Yeah, I'll tell you. Now consider that you have a class C. I'll write in short class C, then opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Is it okay? Do you appreciate this shortcut, whatever I'm using?
yeah, yes, no problem.
Right. So for clarity, I write this class, call it as a, right? So within a class, probably you might have created another instance of other class B. So B1, comma, B2, etc. Please consider B1 equal to new B, the Java syntax. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
In that case, how do you visualize this? You visualize this in terms of aggregation. That is called composite object. That means you have a class C. This is class C. Then I use a symbol, aggregation symbol like this, diamond shape, not arrow mark, right? So I'll say something like this, right? C is a composite object. C contains the instances of B. C contains the instances of B, right, which already are created. This is called, right, aggregation. Are you clear? Okay. Now look at that. I will give an example. The C, here is my hand, and fingers. The fingers are nothing but, right, the B class here. Fingers are B class here, right, and my hand is C class. So hand is made up of fingers. The class C is made up of instances of B. That's how I can read. Is it clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Ashish, Arpita.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, you might have written a program for this. Okay, same thing is being written here now. See. Right? I'll discard all these things and get into again. Right? So look into this. Look into this. So look into this. Had a call, so I was addressing that. Just disconnected. See here, right? You have got a study pack. Okay, study pack as a class, and inside here, whatever you are written, they are all properties, attributes, variables, and here are the methods. There, it is not being shown. Study pack is the name of the class. Do you agree, all of you? A class is represented with a 3 compartment. The first compartment is the name of the class. Second compartment, is all variables declared within the class. Third compartment is all methods you write within a class. This is the 3 partitions you will find in a class. Do you agree, Ashish?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, in short, in the design, we may not use all. You have got the assignment, you have got OHP slides, you have got notes and all, you have got video tapes and all. They are also different objects, right? So your study pack is made up of assignment, OHP, okay, lecture notes and videotapes. So how I can write is, this is my study pack, right? Then this is made up of composite object, made up of one is, say, assignment. I call it as A in short. Then another one is made up of, right, I can say OHP slide. I'll write simply O, right? So I can keep on adding that one. So this is what just now I said about that. So how do you implement this? Study pack in that class, create the instance of assignment, instance of OHP, instance of lecture notes, instance of video tapes and all, right? That's how you can see. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Then assignment within that, you have got another set of instances, right? What are those? Exercise. So assignment is made up of exercise. Study pack is made up of, this one. And this relationship we call as has a relationship. HAS, has, right? A relationship, has a relationship. And you are seeing the inheritance. For example, I'll give an example of that. VTU student, I call VS. And from that, I'll inherit SDM city student, SDM S, student S. What I do is I'll put this line and look at that. This is arrow mark, not diamond shape. Please remember, right, the difference between the diamond shape and, right, this, right, difference. This is the arrow mark. This is the diamond shape. Diamond shape speaks about composite object, whereas arrow marks speak about the inheritance. Right? Yes. So you construct the STM city student from VTU student. This inheritance you know, right? First is you have to write a diagram and then go for its development, implementation. Right? Should not write C++ or Java program directly. What is that you want to do? How many classes are there? How they are related? Either they are related through composite object, right? Whatever you see here, aggregation here, and that relationship is called has a relationship. Study pack has a assignment, study pack has a OHP slide, study pack has a lecture note, study pack has a video. And I give another example. Hand has a finger, has a relationship. But whereas, now consider that the VTU student is my father and SDM student is me, M, right? What I do is I inherit from my father, right? So I'll say that one, SDM city student is a VTU student, and this is called inheritance is being referred from bottom to top and it is read, it is called is a relationship. Please compare is a relationship with a has a relationship. Are you getting this? Right? Inheritance is a relationship. From red from bottom to top. Right? SDM city student. Please see here. SDM city student is a VTU student. Whereas I'll say study pack has assignment. Study pack has OHP sheet. Study pack has lecture notes. Study pack has a videos. Has a relationship. Right? Please note down this. Right? Write a Java program. Prepare an appropriate business scenario. Ashish, note down. All of you note down. Ashish, acknowledge me. Unmute and talk to me. Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Noting it down.
Prepare an appropriate business scenario. To explain the following key concept of object model. key concept of object model. In that, A part has a relationship, B part is a relationship. Has a relationship and is a relationship. Is that clear? Ashish, Arpita,
Yes, sir.
please all of you understand that I'm preparing you for placement. Got it? Okay, you can use this simple example also to explain. Got it? So don't remember the concept, right? You should own it by solving a problem. Ashish, can we have one open book test in the next class about this? I'll give one problem statement of one page and you'll be asked to create object model for this. Shall we have it? Arpita,
Sir, when would be the next class, sir?
say anyhow we are into IA2 portion now, right?
Yeah, yes.
I am not in hurry, right? But it should be done immediately.
Okay.
Then there is a connectivity, right? Maybe after going through all these things, shall we have it on this Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday would be fine.
Okay.
Saturday we will do it, right? And please remember, right? Okay, it is helping you to prepare,
Yes.
right? Placement. Whatever I speak, hope Ashish, I am speaking very loudly, no?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's
Loudly. The reason is
all right,
that, reason is that one I am giving more stress on that. You must read it. You must. It is a placement perspective.
yeah. Yes, sir.
Sometimes my friend speaks about me. Why do you shout like this? In a meeting, I'll say one. Because I am more focused on that. Okay, this is my priority. I want my people to learn this one. Got it? That's the reason why my tone will be at the high pitch. Got it? So shall we have it on? Okay, we will have it on Saturday, right? I'll tell you Saturday at what time, till what time you have a class, Ashish?
So we got class till 12:30.
12:30, maybe up to 1:30 you can have a lunch, right? In your home, nice food prepared by your mother. Then 2 o'clock start.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, and one more thing I request you all people, whatever your submission you have done, right? Whatever submission you have done, okay, please delete all the things, submission, whatever you have done from the first day, right? You people, okay, keep it in your Google Drive, PDF or Word file, whatever it is there. It's a short URL, you submit it. Because my drive, okay, is getting, full. People are unable to submit.
Oh, okay. So we'll just copy the URL and paste it on the
Right. Right.
submission.
Yeah, today night what I'll do is whatever submission I've done, I'll delete everything. You resubmit it. Everything resubmit. Only keep everything in your Google Drive. Give the only URL, short URL, okay, submit it. Attach it to every assignment.
Yes. So the deadline would be
Deadline I already extended for all, no? For everything.
30.
Yeah, 31st. 31st and something I'll extend today. If I have not extended, I'll extend for everything 31st, okay, October.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, that'll be fine.
That I'll do for everything. Right? Right.
Sure.
And today, whatever you have submitted, I will delete everything from my end. And from tomorrow onwards, you put it in a drive and give a link to me. Okay? For every assignment separately. Is it
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Is that protocol okay?
Yes, sir. That'd be okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So from the starting, right? Every assignment.
Yeah, everything. For starting first assignment till today, right? Everything is I'll delete and you have to resubmit. Give URL of the PDF, and you have to preserve that one until end. Whenever I evaluate that, if okay the link doesn't open or not this one, okay, you will not get a marks.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, right. I will do it. And anyway, session is getting closed. right? Is it okay? We will proceed beyond this in the next class, right?
Sure, sir.
Right. 1 minute. I will stop sharing the screen. Ashish, you update our in-class question bank, right? Thus, and there are 47 students. That's not good and healthy, right? Hope other people are seeing their video recorded things, right? I'll end this meeting and I'll make it available, right? Please, online is such a environment. It is new for all of us. Okay, as a listener, as a student, you should be more responsible in getting connected, right? If internet problems are there, please talk to me separately, right? Otherwise, assume that everything is all right. But still, less participation, take care of that, right? Thank you, one and
Yes.
all. Right, bye. And Ashish, update our internal question bank immediately. Bye. Bye.
Yes, done.
Bye.
Bye.